We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. God, it's been a long time. Welcome, Miss. Welcome. So I know we have a whole lot of new people who have not participated with Cindy and I on Zoom. Just want to say welcome. We see lots of familiar faces and lots of friends of the heart, and it's really, really good to come together. And I just think this is the coolest damn thing. I mean, we're all like bilocating right now to some mysterious central location, which none of us know where it is.
Yeah. Hyperlinks to everybody.
Yeah, we're all able to get together. I just love that beautiful symbol. So we got a couple of things since this is our first session before we kind of jump in and see where the Spirit's going to take us.
Did you hit the record button?
Oh, I didn't hit the record. Oh, yes, I did.
Oh,
how did
is it Joan doing it?
That has to be Joan, I guess. Or maybe it's doing it automatically, but it's working.
Okay.
So a couple of tips for Zoom. A couple of things we ask you: please do not unmute yourself unless I can unmute you from here if you're going to do a sharing or something. So please don't unmute, because you'll hear sheets ruffling or dogs barking or something, and that can be a big distraction. So please don't do that. Also, down at the bottom of your screen, there's a button that says share. That's not actually where you share. That will actually share your screen so everybody will see your desktop or your whatever. So please don't push that button. There is a chat button somewhere on the bottom of your screen, or if you're on a phone or an iPad, it might be somewhere else. And you can type in there. There may be times where we ask questions or something. You can type your responses in the chat box if you wish to do so. So there we can hear somebody in the background's unmuted. So I'll mute again. Okay. So that's tips on Zoom. What else do we have?
You could ask about asking questions. You already showed with the chat, right?
Yeah, with the chat button. If they have a question, they can answer it in the chat.
Okay. Let's see. We did that one. And we did that one. Okay, so we were also going to talk about Facebook.
Oh, sure. We have a Facebook page. Cindy and I took a little over a year off of Facebook, and I didn't miss it at all. But it is a good medium for sharing. So as big a group as we have over 100 online now. If we try and share our experiences together here, which we encourage you to share your experiences, even if you don't think it's a big deal, oftentimes revelations come in simple ways. And when you share your insight or your revelation or your aha or your knowing with others, that welcomes them to claim that same knowing or shift or revelation for themselves. That's really what the Facebook page is for. So we encourage you to do your sharings on the Facebook page. And if you aren't on that page yet, Cindy has sent out email invitations, I think, to everybody, right?
Everyone who was registered with the email address you gave me for registration, unless you specified a different one, has been sent a Facebook invitation to our page. But not everybody's open theirs. Some folks don't want to, are not interested in the Facebook option, and that's cool. But you might check that if you do want to be able to be in that sharing process amongst the group. Then just check your Facebook page and look for the invitation that's been sent. It's a private group, so that's why there's that extra step to it. I think that's good.
Okay.
Oh, I would just like to say about the sharing, our experience when we did the BBip 1 point previous was that sharing amongst the participants became a very valuable thing. Sometimes you can have an experience and you don't quite know what to do with it. You may not know what it means or how to be in relationship with the experience that you've had. And somebody else shares something and you see that, oh, it's happening for multiple people in the group. Very similar kinds of understandings are arising. And that's good.
Or questions.
Yeah. So that could be good validation for you. It can also give you a contrast, which would be beneficial. And so, anyway, if you want to be part of that group, sharing the Facebook page is available to you.
And of course, we can't really claim something until we give it away. If we keep it for ourselves, it's not really ours. It's in the sharing that we expand and we get to claim it. So, this is not about teachings. No one in this group has come to participate in yet more teachings. We don't need to sit around and jaw about Yeshua's teachings. Some of us have touched A Course in Miracles. Some of us have touched Way of Mastery. Some of us have touched A Course of Love. Some of us has touched other pathways that exist in creation. They're all perfect. So it's not that one's better than another. I kind of fancy them as all as rivers. All the rivers are made up of the same substance. They came from the same place and they return to the same place. What Cindy and I are going to share here is how to make real in your experience the universal wetness that exists in all pathways, or that exists in all truth. Because oftentimes we read all these, we study, we effort, our minds try and create behavioral matrices to try and behave our way into what we think the teachings are telling us. And in truth, the teachings are pointing us to utterly natural, effortless states of being that don't require behavioral concepts or beliefs or anything else. They're pointing us to a space, a place, a state of being beyond the beliefs or the teachings or the concepts or all the sexy metaphysics. Going past all of that to connect in what is just the most fundamental, basic, elemental nature of our own beings. And none of us are separate from it. We've never been separate from it. It's closer than our breaths, and we're going to play in discovery. So there's no teaching you need to have. Hopefully by the end of this, you'll be able to let go of a lot of teachings because you will have realized their eternal nature in your own being. And you can be the expression of those teachings rather than trying to be a good spiritual student, whatever that means individually for you. So what we're focusing on, Yeshua talks about this in all his pathways. In the Course of Love, he calls it the spacious self. In the Way of Mastery, he points to this when he gives the simple practice of 5 minutes of abiding as Christ, which, by the way, he says is the most important teaching in that he offers, the most important one to do. And he points to it in the Course in Miracles with simply do this. Give up everything you think you know, all your ideas of God. Give up everything and come wholly empty-handed unto your Creator. So what we're going to play with are two things, and you already have them. Everybody here has a body, except my disembodied friends who are participating. Your guides who don't have bodies, they're all here, but we're going to use our bodies because our bodies are the perfect expression of mastery in form. Nobody's body is in last week, and nobody's body is in next week like our minds do. Our bodies are utterly, effortlessly right here, right now. So our bodies already have an intrinsic ability without any conscious thought to be absolutely, utterly present. I'm going to show you the way that Yeshua taught me to connect to that fundamental essence or presence. This just the way I was taught. There are many, 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 many ways to connect to this. Breath, chanting, lots and lots and lots of ways to connect to this space and become increasingly aware of its presence and heighten its vibration. Is that the right word, maybe? But we're going to share what we were taught because that's what we were taught. If this works for you, play with it. Be in discovery about it yourself. If it doesn't, take off. You know, go and insist that the universe bring you something that works uniquely for you. Because there isn't one way. There's there's a unique way for every soul in creation. This tends to work for some. If it works for you, great. If not, then blow it off and let it go. So just real quickly, if anybody here has had an experience at all like me, have you been in a peaceful relationship with your body your entire existence? Is there anybody who's loved their body from womb on? It's so beautiful. It works like a Swiss watch. It's just absolutely perfect. Nothing ever happens to it. You've never been sick. You've never felt bad. We have really had some challenging relationships with our bodies. And how many of us have had challenging relationship with other bodies? I shouldn't infer you. So we just want to open to our bodies in a new way, in a curious way, not in a spiritual way. We're not trying to spiritualize anything. We're not trying to say the flesh is God or any crazy stuff like that, but we just want to be in a curious state of discovery. These bodies are a perfect anchor into eternal isness, eternal presence, and they're a magnificent doorway if you can get in relationship with them and let the body teach you what it knows. Because if our minds could learn from our body how to be utterly right here, right now, as consistently as the body is, we would have no need for spirituality. We would have no need for teachings directed to the mind. We would all be the living expression of presence or the word or whatever you want to call it. So if you just close your eyes and take a really deep breath, and on the exhale, just sigh a little bit. Another deep in-breath. And one more deep sigh. And for all the numerologists in the group, we'll do it a third time because 3 supposedly is really cool. One more deep breath. And as you let it go, sigh. And as you're there with your eyes closed, just effortlessly, simply notice, this is my body. There's no doubt about it. There's no confusion about it. You're not feeling somebody else's body. That's fun, though. I'm not suggesting not to do that. But just be present with your body. And allow yourself to recognize your body is exerting zero effort to be right here, right now. It doesn't have to have any concepts of time. It doesn't have to line up a dozen metaphysical dominoes. It simply is here now. A presence that requires no effort. A simple present body that is universal to every being walking this world. Every single one has a body that is already a master of being right here, right now. Could it be that we've been walking around in the perfect teacher the whole time while we were struggling to get away from it? while we were judging it as too fat or too thin or too hairy or too smelly or not enough of this and too much of that. Silently, without any effort, the body just kept right on being right here, right now. Let yourself realize the utter simplicity, the effortlessness. It doesn't require us to do anything with the body. We don't have to move it in a certain way. We don't have to try and raise its vibration. We don't have to try and alter it in any way whatsoever. It's right here, right now. And no matter where our minds go, here our body is. Effortlessly, simply being. Let's take another really deep breath. Welcome it all the way down into your belly. So your belly blows up like a balloon. And just feel appreciation for this body. I don't know about you guys, but I've put mine through the ringer. I have demanded so much of it. Just feel appreciation for that body. And just admit, honestly, I don't have a fucking clue how this body works. We don't need to get all caught up in metaphysical projections that the body's not real and blah, 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 blah. Let's just, it is our experience. Let's start right there. Let yourself feel the utter and absolute certainty that you feel knowing this is my body. You don't have to think about it for it to be. You don't have to wake up in the morning and go, oh my gosh, if I don't remember to think about my body, it won't be here. It is so, it's more regular than the sun. And what if this body contains an ever-present, utterly simple, always open doorway through which we can connect to infinite intelligence? What Yeshua might call the Holy Spirit, what some people call God, what might be referred to as the Christ mind, whatever name you want to give it, doesn't matter what you call it. Is it possible that that eternal wisdom has been at play, manifesting our bodies always right here, right now? Take another deep breath into your belly. And just have a moment of gratitude that, thank God, the first thing we talked about, I cannot screw up. I do have a body, and it's always right here, right now. You can't get it right. You can't get it wrong. We don't have to understand it to be certain about it. We don't have to alter its appearance in any way to enhance its isness, its presence right here, right now. I don't know about you, honey, but I think that's pretty damn cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So just kind of shake your body a little bit, shake off, make sure you're relaxed. Take another really nice deep breath. And on the exhale, just sigh again. Ah. We're not going to make this whole time together about the body, but let's start at the beginning. Let's start with mastery that's already existing without any effort on our part, without any religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs or metaphysical beliefs. Let's just accept, holy cow, it's true. This body is always right here, right now. I think it's so funny. While we're in bodies, we're trying to learn how to have out-of-body experiences. And when we're out of body in spirit, we can't wait to have another in-bodied experience. So what if we all just accepted we've chosen to be here in these bodies and no longer battle with it? No longer blame it for why somebody left us long ago. No longer blame it for its lack of athleticism, or no longer blame it. I can see Nan's here on the call. She's half blind as a bat, and she's as active in a body as half the people I know. Let's just finally accept this body is a representation of present mastery. And it's not requiring any thought or any effort. I don't know about you, but I think that is super cool. So, can we all agree? Are you willing to let this body that is already of master of presence, are you willing to be fully present within it and let it participate? Let it be used to remind us of who we are. Let it be an ever-present and perfect doorway to the unseen, to the formlessness of our creation. Can the earth of our physicality and the heaven of our spirit be merged in an effortless union? We should give it a try, don't you think? I think we should. So did we establish thoroughly that the body is right here, right now?
Absolutely.
Do you have anything you'd like to add on that?
I'm marveling that you're actually able to continue to talk.
Really?
Yes.
Have you relaxed so deeply? Do you need a pillow and a slobber towel?
I need that. Thank you for the offer.
Okay. You'll probably also see that we're going to have a whole lot of fun with this. Cindy and I have fully exited the serious stage of spirituality. Some of you I know quite well, and you might still be dabbling in the seriousness of spirituality just a wee bit, and you're free to do so. You can be as serious as you want. And there are so many people in an entirely insane world who is absolutely willing to join you in being utterly serious. And if you need some help with some seriousness, call each other, but don't call us. Oh my gosh, I love myself.
We used to get gold stars in school for that.
For what? For effort?
Well, for being serious. I think they call it probably another word at that time, but
Studious.
Studious, yeah, studious.
Or determined.
Yes.
I mean, but think about all the, just for a moment, think about all the effort you've exerted in your mind around spirituality to be right here, right now. And just let yourself realize how funny that your body could have taught you that without any effort. I mean, you wouldn't have needed books and pathways and all kinds of stuff. Right here, these beautiful forms are teaching us presence every day. Every single day. I don't know, but I feel like the joke's on me, and I just got the punchline.
It's a marvelous joke, the whole thing.
All right, great. So we've all established we have bodies. And let's just accept the one we have right now is a perfect master of presence. You're still free to hold judgments against it if you want, that it's to this, it's to that, it you know, if it likes coffee too much, whatever. I don't care whatever you hold, but at least open to this body, for whatever reason, is a master of presence right now. And let's get in it fully. So we've established we have one of the two things that we need in order to what I call enter the spacious presence. We have the body, who's a master of presence, and the body's going to be our doorway. It's not our destination, but it is a magnificent doorway. The second thing that we're going to need is light. Boy, there are so many teachings about light. I am the light of the world. What's another one?
You're asking me to think.
God said, "Let there be light."
Yes.
How about we send some light to the people that we've already judged and we think they need our light? So I'm going to send it all over there. Did we realize we sent our judgment first and then we're chasing our judgment with our light? We're projecting neediness over there, so let's throw our light after it to try and cover up our projections. What else about light?
The light of God is shining in me now.
The light of God is shining in me now. That's absolutely
actually
true. Yeah, well, I have to get serious about that. That one is absolutely true, and that's what we're actually going to discover together. Is the light of God is shining radiantly within us now, and it's shining within these bodies radiantly right now. So, take another deep breath and close your eyes, and just recognize you probably see blackness. How many of you have sat in meditation bearing down to see the light? I'm supposed to see a golden orb of light. No. No, the Christ light is a pure white light. It's not a golden orb of light. It's a pure white light.
Let's not forget purple for Saint Germain.
Oh, sure, but yeah, there's Saint Germain. It's purple. It's purple. I'm supposed to see purple. Well, I was at a oneness thing one time, and they were talking about like fireflies of multicolored. That's what I'm supposed to see. Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to let everybody off the hook. When you close your eyes, you're not supposed to see anything. You may or you may not, but that's not the point. when you close your eyes, what sees the blackness? That is the light that we're seeking. The light that's always on. It's not a physical light that comes from the sun or light bulbs, but it is a light that right now, with your eyes closed, knows it's black. You don't need to label it as black, but just notice how simply you know. That simple seeing, that is the light that we are. The utterly simple light of awareness. That exact same light is aware of my words. And it's like Motel 6. It's always on. You can't turn it off. However, you can ignore it for a long, long time. That light of awareness doesn't just see the blackness, it's what hears, it's what feels, it's what knows. We've been using that light to seek outside of ourselves. We have literally fueled our journeys of seeking by looking outside of ourselves, the very light that's within us, the very light that is present, the very light that knows this is my body with no words, the very light that can see the darkness with no label, with no effort. And just notice there's no doubt. Oh, the rain is yawning and I'm burping. Oh my God, what if we have defined this light and made it so holy that it could never have been us? We made it so powerful that surely it couldn't be within me. And just like with your body, notice that you're not exerting any effort to be aware, whether it's of my words or of the darkness that you see if your eyes are closed, or the computer screen in front of you if your eyes are open. Just notice there's zero effort. The light is always on. And here's a funny one. When your mind is thinking about all those painful memories from the past, a present light is knowing that, is seeing that. So let's play with our light a little bit. Would you like to?
I would like to.
And let's keep it really simple. Let's not get all metaphysically spiritual where we start wrapping the earth in light and all kinds of stuff to make us feel better because we think we're doing something that really uplifts us and makes us, oh gosh, I feel so good about myself because I'm embracing all things in life. Let's play with our light, our individual, utterly simple, direct light. take a deep breath again, and as you close your eyes, exhale. And just check in with your body. Make sure it didn't run off to last week or next week. Yep, body's still here, effortlessly present. Now just become aware of your right foot. And notice how effortlessly and instantly you became aware of your right foot. It didn't require any thought. You didn't have to do anything. As soon as I asked you to become aware, awareness, light, informed you. I call this gnosis, direct knowing that doesn't require any symbols. I mean, even if you didn't know right or left, you would still know they're your feet. So now use that light of awareness to become aware of your left foot. And again, notice how simple that without any effort, almost like moving a flashlight, boom, your left foot lights up somehow in your awareness. You have a knowing. You know whether a sock is on it or not. You can probably feel the temperature of it. Light is informing you of what's there. Now take the light of your awareness and place it on both of your hands. And see how effortless it is to know the position of your hands. We take this for granted because it's so simple. But none of us know how it works. This simple light of awareness that knows this is my body, this is my foot, this is my memory, this is blackness when I close my eyes, this is bright when I look at the sun. That simple knowing without words, without descriptions. What if that very awareness is our divinity? What if that simple capacity to be aware is what Yeshua might call the light of Christ? I can almost feel some minds out there protesting, oh, but it's supposed to be bigger, it's supposed to be more. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to the bigger, we'll get to the more. And this is true of every person on this world. It doesn't matter what they believe or what they don't believe. It doesn't matter what they've done or what they haven't done. The same simple light of consciousness is present within them. It is what's actually aware of whatever experience they're creating and having. You know what's really cool about looking into an infant? Because this is all you see there is the light, the knowing. Because it hasn't been covered over by religion. It hasn't been covered over by metaphysics. It hasn't been covered over by what's good or what's bad, what's right or what's wrong. It hasn't been covered over. It's just radiant. Because that child knows it exists, doesn't it? And if it's hungry, it knows it and it expresses that knowing. If it's sleepy, it knows it and it sleeps. So what if we already have everything that we need to actually realize, discover, and make real for us every spiritual teaching you've ever heard? An ever-present body as a doorway. My friend Adam Love's excited about that. An ever-present body that's right here, right now, and the power of our own individual light. What if we discover that that light is an aspect of the light of God itself? Wow. How much fun could we have if we never needed to go to another retreat? If we never needed to read another book? If we never needed to need? If we could step off of the spiritual treadmill long enough to get in playful discovery using our bodies, and it's your body, it's not anybody else's, and using our individual light, which is your light and nobody else's. Let's check that out. When I asked you to become aware of your right foot, Cindy, did you become aware of anybody else's?
No, not even yours.
Not even mine. I'm sitting right here.
Yeah.
I could probably even put mine on there and you'd just be aware of yours.
Well, maybe.
So I want to really emphasize the sovereignty of your body and the sovereignty of your light. It's not anybody else's. It's utterly and absolutely yours. Your body is actually an expression of your eternal light or spirit. We're just going to reverse engineer it and use the body as an ever-present expression and go backwards, if you will. Not really backwards, but we're going to journey back to the source light. Sounds fun, huh? And it's going to be simple. There's not anything that we will do that you cannot already do, because the power of your light is already limitless. But we're going to discover that, because, you know, ideas are fun and ideas can even be sexy. They can be really, really exciting. But knowing is really, really the bomb. You know, ideas are good, but have you ever noticed how you have to defend your ideas, or somebody else has a contradicting idea, or, oh my gosh, I've got a great idea now, I need to convince somebody how great it is? But don't you just honor your own experience, your own knowing? You don't have to prove it to anybody. You don't have to justify it to anybody. You can free yourself from comparing it to anybody else. Can we come back to utter simplicity? We've all had enough spiritual teachings that took our minds and created a labyrinth in our minds. And God, didn't we try so frigging hard? Haven't we all worked on ourselves so much? All of that rooted in a deep belief that we needed to somehow be different in order to be holy. that somehow we had to behave or be able to do certain crazy things in order to be worthy of light or love. So what if we set all that down and celebrate that we stand at the exit of the labyrinth of the spiritual journey through the mind, and we can use these utterly simple tools, an ever-present body, a sovereign and individual light, and we can use those two things to be in radical, joyful, eternally safe exploration of our own nature and the vast, infinite nature that is creation. Is that a journey worth taking?
Yeah.
If not, I could pull out some books and we could quote verse to each other. No, Susan's shaking her head. No, she doesn't want to do that anymore. We could have a metaphysical discussion where we have to sharpen the definition so perfectly that we all nod finally in consensus and we think we've accomplished something. We go out and we say, finally, I found my tribe. Oh my gosh, I found my tribe. Finally, someone else who believes what I believe. What if beliefs are totally unnecessary? What if beliefs are just how we play the game of separation? Are we willing to set it all down and finally be in joyful, radical, utterly unique discovery? Because you can only discover it for yourself. If it could be taught, shit, we're good students. We would have got it already. It can't be taught. But context can be created in which you can discover or remember or realize for yourself. And that's the only thing that matters, is your own realization. So that's the first session of where we're going. We've established the body's our friend, and it's even a master. And even if you're a little begrudging with that because you're deep in the Course in Miracles and the body's not real, well, sure, it's not real, it's not eternal, but it stands at the threshold of what is eternal. It's not separate from what is eternal, and let's use it as the master that it is to discover what is eternal. Cool? Does anybody have any questions? Well, I just asked. Give them a second. Somebody says they feel the whole gang of the Christ Council here. Well, I sure invited my friends to come, those beings who love and celebrate my incarnation. So I'm glad they're here. So I am here, I am there, I am the power that makes all things clear. I am the majestic presence. Wow, how many of us have done those I am mantras in our mind? I saw Damien on here. He and I have actually talked about this. He mastered this. I mean, this guy could be I aming doing everything. I mean, I am. We try and claim it with the words in our mind. What if we realize that it's present in our every experience and we never had to claim it again because we're too effortlessly busy living it? Wow, that feels sexy. That feels really, really sexy. So I want to honor everybody's journey here. You're all already whole. You're all already free. You all have been magnificent students. Your journeys are utterly absolute and unique. And there's nothing wrong with them. I don't mean to make light because I sometimes poke fun at the spiritual journey. I do that in my own because I was pretty serious on the spiritual journey. If you need any proof, ask my friend Ori. He'll probably tell you. So I honor whatever your journey has been, but we've come together for the intent and purpose to go to the journey's destination. And it's not actually an end, although many things will end. Studying will end, efforting will end, fear may end in large measure, peace may really come, but it's actually the beginning of freedom. The beginning of the freedom for you to be who you are as light in manifest expression. And that, my friends, is just magnificent.
Yeah. Free to be absolutely in love with yourself.
And that's the only one you have to love. I mean, what would it be? You never had to love anybody else. You never had to convince anybody else of how much you love them, because you're so rapturously in love with yourself. That will affect the people around you, whether they like it or not, but it can be a little challenging. So we want to express our love and celebration for you and welcome you to participate with us, or welcome you to leave. If this doesn't resonate with you and it doesn't feel true for you, I know the universe will bring you exactly what's perfect for you. So we honor that above all else. We're not saying this is the way. We're just saying we can share from our own direct experience, and frankly, that's all we can do. Do we have anything else?
Depends upon whether you want to do this or not.
Okay, let's see. So Janet Dean has a question. No, this is the bottom one.
Yes.
So Janet asked a question. I have a question about Yeshua asking us in the Polish and English channeling to be the light and send it around the earth. I'll talk about that briefly. He's not asking you as a body to send your light around the world. We'll get to this, where you are the light that is the whole world. That's very, very different. That's not coming from a little personality, egoic thing, doing a nice spiritual religious act. We will discover for ourselves that this inner light of awareness knows no boundaries, doesn't stop at the edge of our skin. That's just been one of our masterful creations. So Janet will get to more of that. And Christine asked, what happens to the light of our awareness when we fall asleep during the night while sleeping? Well, how many of you are aware of your dreams? Same light is aware of a different expression of you. Even if you're not aware of your dreams, when you wake up, you're aware that you slept. So that awareness, that light never goes out. The vast majority of beings, when they do sleep, return to some expression of source. Some, you might call it your higher self, your Christ self, your greater being, and have experience there. You may be working with your guides if you've been on a, quote, pathway. But the light doesn't go out. Sleep is one of those creations we put in the dream to make it so real that we believe the light does go out, that we are separate from the light. Anything else? Ryan says he was on fire all this afternoon. Well, bro, put the fire out. Oh, you think he's referring to this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, doesn't look like there are any other questions. Nope, no other questions. Will we be able to see the recordings of this in case we miss the sessions? Yes, absolutely. The recordings will be posted on the Facebook page, and they will be sent to the email that you use to register. So we're not going to assign any homework because that's not the way freedom works. But if you'd like to be in playful, joyful discovery, just let yourself over the next week become aware of how effortlessly your body is right here, right now. And could that ease with which your body is present be something that you could live in? And just begin to be aware, what if the light that I experience my life in, that I see, that I hear, that I feel, that I can shine in different places, because you can close your eyes and shine the light of your awareness into the past. You can shine the light of your awareness into what we think the future will be. You can move it around your body. What if that light is an aspect of God, of all that is? What if that is a tiny aspect, one little spark of eternal divinity? And you might even play with the wonder question. I wonder if this light was on before I incarnated. That's a fascinating question, isn't it? And will this light be on after this body is gone? So Marge asked a question. When the body is in pain, it doesn't feel effortless. Are you missing something? Well, the ability to be aware of the pain is effortless. I'm not suggesting the pain itself is, that's what it is. If you're experiencing pain, you're experiencing pain. But the knowing that you're in pain isn't hard. And there's no doubt about it. You may then be in judgment about it. You may then be in, why the fuck am I in pain? But the simple, that the body is present isn't hard. And we will address pain during this series if anybody wants to go there. So you're not missing anything. You're simply using the presence of the body and the presence of light to be aware that there's current pain. And that too can be a doorway. And we'll share the ways that we can use anything in our experience as a doorway to the eternal. Not to escape our experience, but to safely have our experience fully. Not to run away from our bodies, but to actually experience the fullness of these bodies. So this isn't about escape. It's about discovering there's no need to escape. It's about discovering, wow, my eternal nature is present in here, having a temporary experience, and it's okay. I can rest in the peace of my light. I can rest in the presence, the ease of the presence, and I can be in relationship to my experience in a very, very different way. Because our suffering is rarely our experience, it's our relationship to our experiences. And we'll discover, we'll practice and play for ourselves to discover that our light is invulnerable. And we'll use past experiences. We may even create some new ones to discover that. So, is that it?
One more question.
No more questions?
No, one more question.
One more. Will you discuss the difference between consciousness, awareness, and light at some point in the series? I'll tell you right now, there are 3 words that are trying to describe the same infinite mystery. I mean, people can try and define them in lots and lots of different ways and say, well, this is this and this is that. And that's just us making up a definition. Like, who was the first person that said yellow? There was a color there and somebody put a label on it and then everybody agrees. We're not going to try and get to an agreement about what consciousness is, what awareness is, and what is light is. You'll probably hear me use all 3 of them interchangeably because they're not really different. They're the same thing. Those might be speaking to different levels of awareness. You have a physical awareness, which is kind of where we're starting. You'll get to the point where you can be aware of your etheric field, kind of your spiritual presence. Some people might call that aura. And then we'll enter into states where you can become aware that your awareness knows no limits. But we don't need to give them all different definitions because then we'll just argue about those. Why don't we just experience it and know for ourselves? And then it won't matter what we call it. Cool? And Nan's ready to celebrate. So speaking of celebration, one of our friends, Cindy and I's friends, Giorgio, he is a Greek friend that we met a couple of years ago, sent us a video so here's Giorgio with his unique expression.
in my wilderness, the Christ hands, one white and gold. I see John Marks and Cindy's laughter. I feel the love slowly unfold. Since you zoomed away, the days grew long, and soon I'll hear the Yeshua song. And I miss you most of all, my darlings. But BBip too start again. Happy New Year and happy BBip too.
This is a point where we would ask you if you are willing to make a donation. We don't charge anything for the series. That's our choice. We'd like to offer all that we have, but at the same time, we'd like to have the joy of receiving. So if you are moved to do that, there is a PayPal button on the onewhowakes.org website.
Little yellow button. It doesn't say PayPal. It says give or donate.
Okay, so give or donate. onewhowakes.org is our website, and you can make a contribution there.
Because your body is free, your light is free, but damn, maintaining these bodies is expensive, isn't it? I mean, all this food we have to run around and get, these houses we have to put them in, the vehicles we need, the planes we got to get on, it'd be pricey. So we welcome your loving support if you so choose to give. You're welcome to be here whether you do or not.
Yeah.
So our friend Damien asked us if we want to go out with laughter. I'm willing. Are you?
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading notes.
Feel free to join us, friends. Laughter on demand for no reason except the joy of it.